Kevin Smet, Advanced Student at Learning Alias, and this is going to be a power video on sliding hulls. So if I go to Transform CV and I pick Slide Hull, using the Shift key I can click with my mouse to select these hulls. And let me put the mouse sensitivity down a bit. And now what I want to do is I want to slide all of these hulls in unison towards the flange. So if I do that, look what's happening. Some are sliding towards the flange, but others are sliding in the other direction. This is not what I want. So if I do Control Z, there is an easy way to check whether your UV alignments are the same. And you can use the curvature evaluation for that. So Print Max is the default, but if I put it at curve V or curve U, you can see it's different, right? So the UVs are not the same, and that's what's giving me the problems. Now, I have to change the UVs around. This will kill any construction history that I had. I don't have construction history at the moment, so I'm not worried about that. Just keep it in mind, this will kill construction history. So what I want to do is I want to change the UV on the patches so that they all have the same characteristic. Let's start with this patch. And the tool that I'm going to choose to use for that is Surface Edit, Reverse UV. If I open its option box, you can see you can reverse just the U, just the V, or swap the U and the V. Now this is a little bit of a guessing game, but we can use the UV as a guideline. So I'm going to go back into wireframe, and it will be easier. So on this patch, you can see the U is running like that, and the V is running like that. So that has to be the same on this patch. So you can see that that's not the case. The U should be along this side and at that end. So if I just reverse the U, now the U's over here. Let's try that again. So you can see that that's the change, so that's not a change that we want. So let's reverse the V instead. And now what's happening is the V used to be over here and now is over there. So that's a good start. So maybe I can reverse the U now. Now the U's over here. That's not what we want. So let's swap U and V. And now we have the U along that direction and the V along that direction, which should be what we want. VU. You can tell if we go back into the curvature eval, this is now the same color. So it is a little bit of a guessing game. You have to experiment a little bit. But as long as you don't have any construction history, you don't really have to worry about it. Just try one, try another, until they match up. So swap UV worked pretty well on that one. So here again we want to select that surface, and reverse active, I just hit the space bar. And we can see that that's not really doing it for us. So let's reverse the U. And now the U's over here and the V's over there, so this should be correct. You can see that that has now also changed. Now we only have one more left. And let's go with a swap UV to begin with. Okay, so we have UV. We definitely want U along that side, and then we want to reverse the U so that it begins over there. So now this should be correct as well. So we have UV at the right hand left side, and then this surface has UV at the right hand left side as well. So if we go back into our curvature eval with curvature V or curvature U, it really doesn't matter. It will show us whether the directions are the same, and they are. So with that straightened out, what we can do now is go back into Transform CV, Slide, Hull, and with Shift we can again click to select the hull lines. And now if we move them in unison, they should all move together. There. So that is how you resolve that. Now you can slide along a projected hull or parallel to a hull, but when you have a complex radial structure, using slide hull is easier. However, you have to take into account the UV directions of your surfaces. Now remember, this will destroy the construction history, but there's nothing to prevent you, after this has been slid, to go back into Object Edit, Align, and to now simply reestablish some alignments. There's nothing stopping you from that. At least you know the UVs are right. If you want to avoid this problem to begin with, when you're constructing your surfaces with rails or squares, the order in which you select them, the order in which you pick the boundaries will determine the UV. So if you're smart, you'll pay attention to that right at the start. But of course, we don't always have the time to pay attention to that right at the start. This has been a power video about sliding hulls and the UV directions of the surfaces. I have been Kevin De Smet, advanced student at Learning Alias.